Hey y'all, welcome back to this episode of Twin Peaks. No, that sucked. I'm gonna stick with it though.
Just roll
Um,
with it.
we're on episode 4 of The Return, and we're doing. Let's see. The episode's called "Brings Back Some Memories."
Brings back some memories.
That could be a quote from somebody.
Brings back some memories.
In our last episode was episode 3, and we got introduced to Dougie, and people are out to kill the Dougie that our coop that escaped from the lodge is inhabiting. So there's some hitmen out
First Dougie.
looking for him, and he's kind of meandering around Las Vegas. And we last saw him in a casino yelling "Hello" and getting jackpots.
Hello.
And there was a few other notable things that happened, but overall, we're getting into Dougie. We did meet Gordon Cole, we met Albert, and they had some small things to say about, hey, we gotta get down to Las Vegas. We found Coop. So they're taking a trip. So we'll have to see in this episode if they make it there or what their plan is.
If you could identify the correct slot machine to pull the lever, if you could tempt Lady Luck, would you do it?
What are we watching? What is this?
Well, I just told it to look. You can see what
okay,
it is.
Okay.
You can see what it is.
Welcome back, dear listeners, to another thrilling episode of Fargo.
No. I can make it read aloud. So if you want fucking Chatbot to do an intro to this episode, we can have it like. Theoretically, you should be able to capture this audio, right?
Yeah. I can turn up.
Dear listeners, to another thrilling episode of Fargonauts.
Like, could you hear that?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay, I'll just start it playing, and I'll shut the fuck up so we can hear Chatbot. But like, you want to have him give a shot at doing an intro?
Yeah. Here's Chatbot's intro for Twin Peaks, I assume.
Welcome back, dear listeners, to another thrilling episode of Fargonauts. I'm your host, Tyler, and joining me today are my co-pilots on this wild journey, Eric and Wilson. How are you guys doing today? Hey, Tyler. I'm pumped to dive into today's discussion. Twin Peaks: The Return has been a roller coaster, and episode 4 is no exception. Absolutely. Can't wait to unpack all the Lynchian madness with you guys. That's right, folks. Today, we're diving deep into the enigmatic world of Twin Peaks: The Return, specifically episode 4. This episode is packed with surreal moments, cryptic dialogues, and, of course, plenty of questions that keep us on the edge of our seats. We'll be dissecting the key scenes, exploring the intricate character developments, and trying to make sense of the wonderfully bizarre plot twists that only David Lynch can deliver. From Dudgie's baffling yet hilarious attempts at normalcy to the eerie encounters with familiar faces, there's so much to talk about. So grab a cup of damn fine coffee, settle into your favorite chair, and let's get started.
All right. So there's episode 4.
This is from my memory, the second episode, like at least in a row, that ended with the musical number. Did they all end with the musical number? I don't think they all do, though.
I don't think the first one did, but the ones, everyone since that the second episode.
I think both of them do, except for a couple, for a few. Like
I wouldn't.
Episode 8 or whatever. Episode 8 doesn't end with one.
No.
Well, that one, yeah. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if most of them end this way, just because, like, you know, David wants to watch the people that he fucking got to do this perform. So
David wants to watch.
I'm in the back, just watching.
So this one was called Brings Back Some Memories. And there's a lot of memories that are coming back.
really big bucks.
Yeah. Dougie's like trying to get memories back.
Thank you, Mr. Jackpots.
Yep.
Eating supply, or the hot dog.
And what's her face? I know her from
Yep.
something.
Yep, I recognize her for something too. I don't remember what.
She was in remake of
Yep.
House at the End of the Street or something like that.
Now it's at the end of these nuts.
What else brought back memories? I mean, I guess like maybe more stuff with Lucy and Andy and their son coming back. Like that's kind of a
Yeah.
even though we haven't
Memory.
seen that past, it's
And
like a
he's recalling
revisiting of the past.
Yep. He's recalling memories. Yeah, let's. What else did he? There was something. There was something.
I think that's a good point though.
Doug,
Like
you know-
Dougie trying to remember, or like Coop trying to remember,
Yeah.
bringing back memories in that way.
Well,
And of course,
as an audience
Bobby.
member,
Bobby.
you're like everything that's coming up for Coop. As we're
Yeah.
watching him, we're like, oh, this will make him remember, like when he's looking in the mirror, or like when he's
Cup
drinking
of coffee. You expected him. As soon as he drank the coffee, you were like, "Oh crap, it's gonna snap him out." I know when I first watched this, I was like, "Oh, dude, he's gonna drink that coffee and he's gonna be boom. It's
Yeah,
gonna be him, dude."
that was
like, nope.
such a good like bait and switch. I was like, oh, I
Or-
thought it was gonna be the coffee.
Or even like him
Denise,
eating
dude.
breakfast could help trigger the memories for him because he's always like he mentions breakfast so many times in the original series.
Hmm.
You have them recalling a past situation here. Denise and Gordon
Even just seeing Denise, like
bringing back
that brought back memories for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like the idea too of like Mr. C is trying to bring back memories in somebody else. Like he's trying to get Gordon to divulge information where Mr. C's like, I know that you know this, but I don't know this, so I'm gonna try and get you to speak about this. And for Gordon, it's like, oh, this is shit that I knew about fucking what's his name, Philip Jeffries back in the day.
Yeah, that was really
Right.
interesting. Bringing Philip Jeffries, like that brings back memories too. Just talking about Philip Jeffries and what his
Oh,
whole
yeah.
situation was. I mean, we only got to see him in Fire Walk with Me, and we
Yep,
didn't know
Fire
a whole
Walk
lot.
with
We didn't know a whole lot about his Blue Rose, what he was doing there in Colombia, but that was interesting.
Now he is a Blue Rose,
Right.
just like Coop.
He became a Blue Rose. Yep. So that if you guys remember watching the movie Sleepover, remember that
Yeah.
from a while back?
Yes.
Yeah,
That was Sarah Paxton. She was in that movie. That girl with Ethan
that's
Suplee.
what it is.
Oh my goodness.
That's what it
She
is.
was the mean girl that was like, you guys have to
Yeah.
do this scavenger hunt.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
that's what I'm recognizing her from, but
Oh, she's been in other crap, but maybe you've seen her in Aquamarine or Last House on the Left.
Oh, that might be-
or
I'll tell you.
Shark Night.
Aquamarine makes sense to me.
Sharknate.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Innkeepers. Innkeepers
I
is a
remember seeing
great
trailers
movie.
for that.
Oh, apparently she's in Liar Liar. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay,
Regardless.
but we got to see Denise.
Burger.
Denise back
Denise.
as chief of staff of the Federal
Yep.
Bureau of Investigation. Great to see Denise again after being
Yes,
part of the
definitely.
DEA.
And then fucking the boy shows up here, dude.
Yep, we got the.
Oh yeah, fucking. She freaks out because she's not like.
Oh,
she
shit.
forgot about cell
Dude.
phones.
The organizational chart of the FBI, Denise is like literally like second in command.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's awesome. And then like obviously deputy director works directly underneath the director, but even deputy director is underneath chief of staff. That's so awesome for fucking Denise. That in the 25 years she climbed from being in the DEA or like
Yep.
DEA liaison or something like that.
Yep. Undercover DEA.
Or maybe she was like former DEA and then became FBI. I forget the exact. But good for
Undercover
her.
DE's nuts.
Yeah, she stuck with it too. That was awesome.
To company each No, Duchovny easily acting.
Yeah, exactly.
Just slipping back into that role again. But that was another thing that brought back memories was Denise.
Yep.
And then obviously we got
fucking-
the Bobby.
Andy had to remind what's her nuts about cell phones.
It brings back memories. Oh no.
It's like, remember phones? That means cell phones. It means it's mobile.
But you were in the mountains fishing.
Yeah. And fucking so Hawk gives the lowdown to fucking about Log Lady.
We get a Hawk talk.
The Hawk.
Hawk talk.
Well,
Yeah,
I-
fucking. And then old fucking Bobby walking in, seeing the picture of Laura, and we get the nice Angelo Badalamenti up in this bitch, dude.
Mm-hmm. That was a big moment because that was like, he's like, oh my gosh, Laura Palmer.
Hell yeah.
well,
Brings back memories.
yeah, like it's like a fucking triple, maybe even quadruple, or more whammy, where the mixture of this picture plus Laura's theme.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know that we've seen that since the original series, or like so far in the. I don't think we've seen the two paired up in the return,
Yeah.
and then fucking Bobby dropping the line.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
He said it. So the episode title.
thing.
But it's also like classic peaks too, where it's just like over emoting too. Like
Yes.
classic
Yes.
peaks.
Because sometimes
classic
that song
Bobby.
was played
Out-
like for laughs too. Like that song when it's like, who was it? Was it Albert and Sheriff Truman and that song played or something like that, or a song that was like a love theme played with?
Mhm.
I thought that was funny.
I think it might have been a variation of Laura's theme. Yeah. But yeah, like Bobby's the person that I think most people would associate with like a majority of the overacting because of shit like
Yeah.
and like all the fucking
Hey man.
outbursts that he has in the original series.
Yep.
Yeah,
And he's like,
Yeah. So this is just a return to form of
Yeah, dude.
All right, Dana.
That is the return, dude. That's what the return means.
the return of Dana Ashbrook
Yeah.
crying and overacting.
Over emoting.
yeah, him kind of briefly talking about his dad too was kind of bittersweet. Like when he died in
Yeah.
that fire, his station burned or something.
Oh, Garland.
Tiny little
Yeah.
Lucy.
And
That was a
then,
tiny little Lucy. And then
With
the
the-
boy
with
shows
the-
up. I like that officer comes in and just like
stairs.
just leans at him
Yeah, he's like, there's
and
a.
stares.
There's a
Wally
Just
Brando.
holds that the whole time.
Hands on fucking belt buckle.
Yeah.
Wally
Wally
Brando
Brando.
outside.
Well,
Wally Brando.
bad pause on him. But yeah, Wally,
God
he
damn it.
comes and he
There he
talks
is.
about like, hey, I came to pay my respects to your sick
nothing,
brother,
something. Yeah.
and then
Can you just let this roll silently for a second?
okay,
It's just a Pepperidge Farms remembers situation.
that they
Is-
had a kid, and yeah, that was a big part of the show.
Now he's dressed up like Marlon Brando, and he's speaking with a lisp some of the time.
My favorite fucking thing about this entire scene is watching Andy and the times that he looks at Sheriff Truman with this like proud smile on his face. Like
That's my boy.
Michael Cera's just monologuing for 5+ minutes at a time, and yeah, he just
And
keeps
half
looking at
of
him
it's
like,
just him staring at him.
this, ha ha. Just wait
That's
for the
my
next line.
son.
Every time it
The
makes you
stare, with the staring in silence makes me happy as well. So many times where he just stares in silence.
He's
And
so,
you're like, okay,
he's so proud.
that's my son,
My lisping son.
but only some of the time.
Lucy too. She's got the same thing. They fucking coordinate.
So proud of their boy, dude.
You know, they talked between scenes of like, all right, here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. You're
Proudest
you
parents in
guys
the world.
have to put your arm on his shoulder, your hand on his shoulder. and just smile at him like you love him so much.
And from hearing Michael Cera talk about this, he's like, yeah, I showed up for like 2 hours, and then I was done, and like,
Right.
yeah, I think it was. I would love to find that interview, but it's like a direct quote of Michael Cera being like, yeah, David Lynch was just telling me basically like, really hit those commas, Michael.
I love it. So we got to meet Wally Brando, and
What a wonderful turn of phrase.
yeah, what a wonderful turn of phrase. Thank you for that. It's like, my dharma is the road, your dharma.
Yep. Gestures.
Just gestures to Twin Peaks and just everything here.
Yep.
I thought he was going to say Twin Peaks, but yeah, he played it. He played it the right way and just didn't say any fucking thing at all.
Right. And then we get more Dougie.
Dougie.
We can't have
Dougie getting
enough
his uniform
Dougie.
right there.
And Dougie, yeah.
Getting a message
Sees a
directly
little
from
fucking-
Mike, and he's like,
Yeah.
too bad, gotta pee.
It's like, I'm gonna put that gold ball in your urethra.
Oh,
He's
God.
Like, oh no. And he gets freaked out. He gets freaked
gets
out from his
scared of
pee.
pee.
And then he's like, oh yeah. And here's
It's
another
him.
bait and switch.
The pee's good.
It's like him. This is just like him being reborn, right? So it's like he's learning everything again, and just like,
Yeah.
Huh?
I think there was something with that transition when he was in that one void of space.
yeah.
With that
He
one
was
girl
being
that
born.
he just came out sideways or fully baked, you know, he just
Well, Mike said it in this episode. He got tricked.
yeah, he got tricked.
He got like the. I don't know, like, you know, what exactly happened, but the first socket that he was going to go into was like number 3, and then the second one was number 15 or something like that. So it seems like maybe that first socket possibly could have put him back in his original body and like exorcised Mr. C. Because that's why he was like throwing up. Is like, oh shit, he's about to come out. He's about to come out. And then he got like sidetracked and got shunted into Dougie. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, we should all hope to be shunted into Dougie.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Everyone should get shunted into their own Dougies at some point.
Get to be Mr. Jackpot.
Yep.
Mr. Jackpots.
Mr. Jackpots.
Yeah.
He really did, like you were saying, Wilson, like Kyle MacLachlan did such a good job of like figuring out the physicality of Dougie. Like how he moves and just like looks, and it's so consistent throughout this and is like a hallmark of the character.
Yeah, there's like a specific way that he stares into the middle distance and does all this stuff, and
how he holds his posture and how he moves, and
yeah, he's got like the hunch
looks
back and shoulders.
box and yeah. It is. Like,
What?
Here he's gonna remember, but
He's definitely been in comedic roles before, but this is like this is some high tier physical comedy that he's doing. Like not so nonverbal, so much done with so little.
Yeah, we did mention that he did see.
He just looks so innocent in that face too. Look at him.
Before he got home, we saw an owl pass over after he got dropped off with the limo. And we see a little owl cookie jar back there watching him too.
Over his shoulder.
They're always watching.
I bet that won't be the last time we see an owl in this show.
Oh, I know.
Definitely.
Like around Dougie or just in general.
Bet you it's not the last time we see Coffee in the show either.
Yeah,
I think you're correct.
And then we're getting towards the mystery more here with the FBI agents interacting with the Doppelkoop, and that was fascinating.
The Cooper gang.
Yeah, where like the Cooper ganger, put on like a
Doppelkoop.
The Doppelkoop put on some kind of like voice to make it sound like he was imitating Coop from memories, you know, from back in the day.
but it's lower pitched for
It's
some
lower
reason.
pitched and it's
That's
so
that's
off.
just how Mr. C sounds. He's just like he kind of. It's almost like he's. It's almost like he's like trying to do the like I'm like slowed down, but he's not actually. He's just like trying to do that effect himself, kind of.
But earlier in the show, wasn't he talking normal-ish?
It maybe sounded different just because of like the situation where he's coming through a speaker system and he's like
Okay.
I think here, yes, he is trying to do he's trying to do an affectation of more of a like professional FBI agent front facing to his boss kind of
Right.
thing.
Right. That makes sense.
But I do believe most of the other time he's got like as a way to differentiate Mr. C from like, you know, Dougie and Dale and all that.
Mr. CD's nuts, dude.
So he's trying to play a trick on the FBI team that's investigating him right now, saying that he was undercover for a long time and he needs to be debriefed and he needs to get out. So it's just kind of like a scheme, another underlying scheme for him to
Well,
get out.
He screws up.
the scheme for him here is that he keeps specifically saying that he needs to be debriefed about what Gordon knows about Philip Jeffries. Like he's trying to get information out of Gordon about Philip Jeffries.
Mm-hmm.
So because we see that later on too, Mr. C like directly goes and confronts Philip Jeffries.
What does he want to know about Philip Jeffries?
Well, because he all right, this is getting like ahead of ourselves here.
Deep in the weeds.
But yeah, this is fucking way deep in the weeds. I believe there is an element of the return here, where it's I think it's Mr. C. His like overall goal is to basically like overthrow Judy, right? If Judy is kind of seen as like the matriarch of chaos and evil and all this stuff, Mr. C is like Bob in the body of Coop, basically being like, well, shit, I fucking got free of the Black Lodge. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. And if we see Judy as Bob's quote unquote kind of like mother, it's him basically just rebelling against mom and being like, hey, fuck you, mom. I'm more evil than you are. I'm going to take everything I want and you can just go screw yourself.
Right.
And so that's why he, in episode 2, Mr. C had that playing card with that symbol on it, and he was talking to somebody over that like two-way communication system, and he thought he was talking to Philip Jeffries. We don't know who he was talking to. I don't think we ever really find out, but like to me, overall picture, I think that's what's going on, is that Mr. C is doing everything that he's doing because he wants to basically usurp power or like make a move to get more power than Judy.
I can see that.
Interesting.
And
that's my take.
Albert's
Right.
Reaction to that and talking with Gordon here about that situation with Philip Jeffries was a very poignant moment, just like the last episode where they kind of Albert had that button to kind of put on the episode right before it ended, you know, and then it ends with them again where they're like, this mystery, man, feels like it's going deep, and they're both like nodding like, yeah, this is big, and they're saying big in, you know, in terms of not just for the Federal Bureau, but like for these Blue Rose cases that have gone unsolved, like Phil Jeffries and now Coop and all these things.
Blue Rose
Doesn't get any bluer.
Yeah, it was a very interesting episode, and
Yeah.
this is where the mystery
Lots
kind
of intrigue.
mystery kicks off, and when you have Gordon turning up his little earpiece,
Gordon.
he wants to talk quietly about these Blue Rose situations because
So,
they are
like,
very mysterious.
with the context of the return, like actively watching it and see, I'm trying to pay a lot of attention to Tammy Preston here, because TP, to me, that kind of means
Paper.
a little bit, you know. Like she
Twin Peaks.
shares her initials with fucking the show and Twin Peaks.
And toilet paper.
And she is the person who's like annotating and collating the information that is covered in the secret history and the final dossier. Like it's basically Gordon Cole handing her a fucking stack of files and being like, Tammy, need you to go through this stuff. And her sitting down and like talking into a recorder and going through these files and basically being like, okay, here's my investigation. So with like having listened to those things, I'm really trying to pay attention to her because I remember that now she's got like an arc where she kind of starts on the outside where they don't exactly trust her.
Right.
But like Gordon keeps doing things to slowly bring her further and further into the investigation and like revealing more to her about like, hey, this is kind of what we're doing with Blue Rose stuff, or this is what Dale was doing. She's like along because he trusts her enough to be able to get stuff done, but I don't know that he trusts her to be ready to cross that bridge of like Blue Rose and my sister's what
Oh yeah, that's my sister's.
what about Cousin Lil? Whatever he said, that the whole Cousin Lil thing. She's not ready for that yet, but he's like kicking the tires, seeing if she is ready for that.
Right. Because when we watched Firewalk with Me, that kind of the dynamic duo there was like Kiefer Sutherland and what was that actor's name? Oh my gosh.
Don't remember. My mother's sister's girl.
But their interactions and his complete knowledge, like he had so much knowledge of what Blue Rose identifiers were.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so interesting. Like he's like, yeah, she's opening and closing her hand, and that all meant something, you know.
Yeah, the closed fist is like, oh, we're gonna get resistance from the local authorities.
Yes.
And yeah. She was squinting because I forget. Yeah.
Yep. She was squinting and pursed lips, and she was wearing a red dress, and she had a blue rose on her thing.
But the fact that Chet Desmond, like, there are how many other Chet Desmonds, Tammy Prestons, how many other like Dale's like proteges, how many other agents, even Albert, like. Because Albert is like more forensics than anything. So like, how many departments, how many agents, how many different people are brought into this Blue Rose investigation?
Chris Isaac, who played Desmond, Agent Chester.
Yeah,
Chris Isaac. I forgot he was a musician, but yeah, he was like the analog of Coop for Firewalk with Me for that first part, and then he kind of disappears and becomes a Blue Rose too. Like after picking up the ring, like there's so many small little things like that have been happening that now it's kind of coming to a big reveal, or like these guys are just catching on, and like there's connections to these types of Blue Rose cases because obviously they are connected with Philip Jeffries showing up in Firewalk with Me, like I see him right there, he's right there, and like Cooper sees him walking down the hallway and things like that, and yeah, maybe there's going to be some kind of reveal or solution to these Blue Rose cases being somewhat connected to this alternate plane or this alternate universe. What else do you guys have to say about this episode? Do you guys want to know what the next episode's called?
Yeah.
I do.
Well, it's not that interesting. It's called Part 5, Case Files.
Hell yeah, dude.
Twin Peaks, episode 5.
That's pretty interesting to me.
Case Files.
Oh well, actually, it's interesting to me, dude.
Well, I just mean like in the same way that I just kind of mentioned. Like I have the context of knowing that like case files in this case probably means Gordon Cole's probably gonna fucking sit down with Tammy Preston and be like,
All right, Tammy, you're not ready for this shit, but here it is.
So yeah,
Gotta love it.
well, that's our discussion on Twin Peaks episode 4. Brings back memories. I'm sure it brought back a lot of memories for all of us watching it. If anybody out there has other memories that they want to bring up, throw them in the comments below. Hope everybody liked this video. I enjoyed this episode a lot more than the previous ones, just because of the Dougie stuff, the continuation.
Dude, my
of
dream
that.
soul didn't make an appearance tonight.
And that's really
What?
surprising because we're dealing with kind of a late recording session.
I was kind of wondering if that was gonna be like, if you stayed awake just because I challenged you, or
no,
like,
dude.
like you did it. I was
It
like,
got tough a couple times. There's a couple times where I got real comfy, and I was like, "Nope, resist."
all right.
Resist.
So because you did not fall asleep during the episode, you tell me what kind of pizza. I'm gonna buy you a pizza. You just tell me what kind of pizza, what size, what everything. I'll buy you a pizza.
Buy him a donut.
Yeah.
Some Twin Peaks related.
No, I
Get him a
told him I was gonna buy him pizza.
Donut and coffee. Get him a donut flavored pizza.
No,
Dude, a pizza flavored donut.
pizza flavored pizza. How about pizza flavored pizza?
Oh, that's even better.
That is a good flavor of pizza, dude.
Some have said yes.
Well, as they
Some
work
have
that
also-
out, I want to thank everybody for watching. If they watched through this this discussion, go formulate your own opinions on this episode. Let us know in the comments, and we'll be back with episode 5, Case Files.
So,
Goodbye.
Hey.
5? That's already a third of the way through the show, pretty much.